Thank you for stopping by today. Folks, I'm out here today with Rick. We're in Boonsboro, Maryland, not too far from Berkeley Springs, about roughly 45 minutes. And we're out at Faerie Springs Farm, and we're going to talk with Rick today about his bees. Rick, why don't you introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your bees, and anything you want to share about them.
Well, of course, my name is Rick Hemphill, and I got into beekeeping about 5 years ago. Now I have to admit that, the first time I stuck my hand down on a bunch of bees, it was a little unsettling.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
But after a while, you get used to it, and now it's second nature. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. Honeybees, they're not normally aggressive anyway. And what can happen, particularly on men, but it can happen anything. If a bee would land on my arm, they have hairs on their legs that they use to gather pollen and things, but they catch in the hairs on my arm. Gotcha. And they think then they're being attacked, hence the sting. As opposed to, if my arm was smooth, or they land on the sleeve of the jacket, which is smooth, right, there's nothing to catch them. They land, they look around, they go, and they leave.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So that's the advantage of the bee suit. And of course, I want my face protected because I don't want stuff. The honey is different depending on what they are gathering nectar from. For instance, a hive that is nearer the mountains or up there tends to be darker because they're going to get more wildflower, they're going to get more tulip, poplar, tree pollen in it, as opposed to here, which is essentially farmland, so it's alfalfa and clover because it's pasture, alfalfa fields, and things like that. So that's where
we're going to get an opportunity to put these suits on. We're going to take a walk over here. You can probably see them in the background, but we're going to open up one of the hives. Rick is going to introduce us. And Rick is going to introduce us to his bees. And Rick, just kind of give us a background. How many bees are actually in this hive right here?
Each working hive this time of year hopefully has about 60,000 bees in, which is about 3 times the population of Morgan County, West Virginia. That's in each one of these boxes. Yep. Some of them have a little more, some have a little fewer, depending on how prolific the particular queen is that's processing it. But it takes that many bees to do 2 things. First of all, to make enough honey that there's excess, and secondly, there has to be enough bees in the hive so that they can cluster together in the wintertime and survive the cold of the winter. Because in the winter, they're going to do their best to keep the inside of this hive 92 degrees.
Gotcha. All right, so we're going to open this thing up.
We're going to open this thing up.
Bees are going to come out, I'm assuming?
Well, they're going to wonder what's going on here.
Gotcha. So if you, oops.
There we go.
So do they, oh my, there's bees in there.
Yes, there's bees in
So
there.
we're going to,
and they're going to be flying around a little bit.
they're going to be flying. Okay, all right.
But we're going to pull something out here so you can take a look.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay, and this is what
yeah, this is
what bees look like. This is what they do. They fly around a little bit, but they're really not interested in us. They just want to make sure we're not hurting them.
Okay.
You want to hold on to that there, make sure those gloves. Well, that's all right. Make sure those gloves work there. But notice they're calming down a little bit once they realize we're not going to hurt them.
Okay. So where is the queen?
The queen is probably down in the box somewhere.
Okay.
These are all workers. All worker bees are female.
Okay.
So they're doing what again?
These are nurse bees. They're actually they're building this comb out. Come on. They're building this comb out and getting ready to fill it with honey.
Okay.
For the winter. That's what they're doing.
Excellent. So about how much honey can you possibly get out of...
The honey return depends on a variety of things. It depends, first of all, on the type of bee. For instance, these are Italian bees. They are known for being good year. You can get anywhere from 200 to 600 pounds off a hive.
Wow.
In a poor year, you might only get 80 or 50 or 1 box.
Gotcha.
Normally, one of these honey supers, you'll get about 2.5 to 3 gallons of honey out of each soup. Normally, you only take honey off in April, May, and June.
Right.
And then the remainder of the year, you want them to build up their hive so that they can get through. Now, this is a pretty active hive. There's a lot of bees in here. This probably has closer to 70 or 80,000.
Wow.
And so I might leave these 2 on there so that they have that much extra honey to take them through the winter.